Your name is Rose Lalonde. After excavating a hole into the center of the land of light and rain, you're descending the well with your trusty flying eldritch cat, Jaspers. It's dark, the light high above, now but a pinprick. "We've been going down for a while, Miss Rose," Jaspers says, fear creeping into his voice.
"Indeed,"
you affirm, peering below. You turn your phone outward to use as a flashlight, but the dim glow is a faded gray in the face of crushing darkness below. All around you, sand and rock shifts. "Is the tunnel gonna collapse?" asks Jaspers.
"Let's hope not,"
you mutter as a stone near your ear comes loose from the wall and tumbles into the abyss below. Jaspers comes to a halt as the well bottoms out. The light above is a pencil's tip, and the 2-meter-wide well is intensely claustrophobic. "Miss Rose, look!" Jaspers points at the ground. Instead of dirt, the floor beneath you is made of marble and smooth, clearly something man-made, or perhaps in this case, game-made. You rest a hand on the marble. This must be the place. Still, the marble is sheer with no way in. It's also dangerous to let loose more destructive blasts right now. The well above you might cave in.
"What do you think is down there?"
you ask Jaspers, who takes a moment to think. "Oh, it's probably one of the land's temples. They're built around everywhere, but I never knew one could be under us," Jaspers purrs. You slide a hand over the marble and knock on it. Solid. You're pressed against Jaspers in these close quarters, and you can't kneel effectively, so you lower yourself as best you can and point your wands at the floor. Miss Rose?" Jaspers sounds doubtful.
"I know what I'm doing,"
you say simply, allowing a laser point of black electricity to dance from the wand tip, cutting into the marble below. After hollowing out a circular section, you hop in place. Jaspers cries out as the floor gives out, and the circular section of marble falls into a chamber below. You hop inside, landing within what seems to be a treasure room. As your feet touch the floor, lamps flicker to life, revealing ornate Art Deco patterns in technicolor on the walls, multicolor arches in relief all dancing across the small room. In the middle of the square-shaped chamber, there is a Grecian pillar with a gold-colored pillow atop it. On top of that, a round, pure white sphere.
"Hello,"
you say under your breath. You approach the orb and take it. You brace yourself for fanfare or booby traps or other rigmarole when you lift it into the air, but instead you get nothing. You blink.
"Well,"
you say, struck with bathos.
"I suppose we should get back up the well. I'm not keen to stay underground."
Jaspers sighs with relief, grips you under the arms, and lifts you out of the well once again. As Jaspers lifts you, you consider the orb. You raise it to your ear, shaking it. Inside, you hear the sloshing and feel the small weight of something rattling inside liquid. "What is it, Miss Rose?" asks Jaspers. You heft the ball in your hand. It's lighter than a stone, definitely hollow.
"It feels like a magic 8-ball.
You rattle the ball again.
"I suppose it stands to reason there could be a magic cue ball. Will I ever find love?"
you ask as Jaspers gently deposits you on the ground in front of the well. The ball remains inert in your hands. You rattle it again, but you don't see anything. "What's a magic 8-ball, Miss Rose?" Jaspers asks, giving the ball a close sniff.
"It's an orb you ask questions to, and it gives you a random answer that you can see through a window at the bottom."
You run your hands over the entire surface of the thing. This seems a little too much like a puzzle for your liking. You know most games involve puzzles and whatnot, but you don't play games to feel smart. You play them to feel powerful. This little mystery orb makes you feel like a moron. You frown at it. Miss Rose, your phone is buzzing, Jaspers says from behind you.
Tell Green Text Lady I'm busy,
You mutter, tapping the orb with your wand. It's not her, he replies. It's someone else. Someone who called you dearest?
Him,
You say forebodingly, taking the phone from Jaspers. Mr. Feline, may I please speak to Rose, dearest?
Oh, okay, but she's really busy pondering her orb right now.
She is expecting me.
Okay, one sec.
What do you want?
Oh, what a curious way to get to the middle of your land. I feel as if I should tell you there was a perfectly good staircase leading to the Boon Chamber just a mile from your location.
My method was faster.
Perhaps, but even a slower path offers less resistance than your brutish show of force. Rather unladylike of you, I must say. You remind me of someone else who once had my orb, a young man who preferred force to finesse.
Who gives a damn how I got the orb? Your idiotic sphere is useless. Tell me how to use it and spare me the riddles.
Fine. I think you've earned 3 more questions, my little lady.
Ugh, little lady? Every time you speak to me, I have to suppress the urge to throw up. Refrain from any annoying pet names.
They are not annoying. They are fun and charming.
They aren't.
Are so.
Ugh. First question. Why do you want a new vessel?
Odd. You were so interested in figuring out the orb mere moments ago. Do you not feel as you should ask about that?
If you're as omniscient as you say, you know I will not relent on this point, unless you'd like to downgrade to mostly niscient. I've decided the orb is beneath my powers of reason. Not to mention, you gave away a hint a moment ago.
Very well. Why do I want a new vessel? Why wouldn't I? Doesn't everyone want to perpetuate their own existence?
Judging by the way you're answering my question with rhetorical devices, I don't think that's the case. Everyone wants to perpetuate their own existence, but everyone dies too. You want to cheat death.
Is that informed by any evidence, or just your own gut instinct? This vessel of mine is of vital importance to a certain errand. Something written into my very genetic code. It is the wish my creator made.
Every new universe is based on a wish, right?
Correct. That counts as your second question, by the way.
Fine. I have just one more.
Shoot.
What was the wish that created you?
Oh, I'm afraid I must bend the rules, Rose. I will not go back on my word and refrain from answering your question, but I am not at liberty to discuss that as of right now. I shall answer that question at a later time.
Whatever.
You really should ask some questions that are more pertinent to your predicament, though, Miss Lalonde. I will be the last of your worries when Bec Noir comes calling. You exhale, realizing you've been holding in a breath for most of that time. You bite your lip. You already decided Doc can't be trusted, yet here you are, hanging on his every word. It's embarrassing.
Well, Miss Rose, do you know how to work the orb thingy now?
Jaspers asks from over your shoulder. His purring puts you at ease.
Kanaya, respond.
Rather curt of you. I would prefer a more polite request.
Why? The last few times we've spoken, you've made a point to emphasize my inferiority due to being a human. I am acting the part.
Okay, I take your point. It begrudges me to say this, but you may be an exception to your barbaric alien friends, Rose. There. I think that should adequately bridge the gap between us.
If you're trying to construct a bridge between us, you have not even hammered the first nail, Miss Merriam.
Oh, what?
I don't have time to argue about your latent speciesism, Kanaya. I need to know which one of your cohorts wielded an orb of prognostication. I believe it was a male, most likely brash and violent.
Males of my species tend to be rather mild-mannered and weak, Rose. Are you sure you're not referring to Vriska? She made use of an orb inside her dreams that she used to see the future.
Odd. I could have sworn Dr. Scratch said it was a boy.
Well, he might have been talking about, well, I should not say.
Pardon?
Rose, if you speak to Vriska about this, please refrain from mentioning the boy thing.
What? Why?
Vriska gets testy about it. It is a cultural thing that I'm not sure you would understand. Dr. Scratch certainly seems not to.
I suppose I'll talk to Vriska then. Thank you again, Kanaya. Next time we talk, maybe you can hammer those nails a little better.
I look forward to hammering you, Rose. Wait, hold on. I phrased that.
You sit cross-legged beneath the shade of the large palm tree, listening to the pastel ocean hum away nearby. You heft the orb in your grip.
What the hell is Kanaya's deal?
You ask the orb, giving it a shake. No response. You squint hard at the orb, trying to see if the answer might paint itself faintly on the surface, but it is entirely featureless, no matter how hard you concentrate. You see the flat, almost magically smooth sphere, hiding dark water beneath a shimmering blue stone with...
Oh!
You cry out suddenly, blinking in shock. Miss Rose! Jaspers hurries to your side, looking worried. Your hand! It went all scary.
It did?
You realize you've been shivering slightly.
Jaspers, I saw inside the orb for a moment. It went transparent. Like my eyes were seeing right through it.
Jaspers nods, crossing his kitty arms. You squint into the orb again, but you can't make yourself fall into that headspace a second time. You grin with smug satisfaction. You don't need Doc's help after all. While you try to see into the orb, you chase down your lead.
Vriska, I want to discuss something with you.
What? Are you gonna hassle me about June too?
June? On the contrary, I wanted to discuss Dr. Scratch.
Ugh, that asshole? Hard fucking pass. What, are you his newest little acolyte?
Not a chance. I rather despise him. He's opaque and irritating, and I'm suspicious of his influence.
Well, I'll be damned. June isn't the only human with a think sponge in her skull case. There's nothing to really do about the guy except ignore him. He's stuck in our dead universe as far as I know.
Be that as it may, I still have questions. Specifically, I wanted to ask about an artifact of his.
Oh, you're talking about that. His stupid little Q.
The white orb that supposedly gives you answers, yes.
Oh, there's nothing supposed about the Q, Rose. You ask, it tells, which sounds great on pulp sheet, but in reality it's bullshit.
How do I use this Q?
Didn't you just read what I said? It's not all it's cracked up to be. I don't care how high your blood cast is, you're in over your head.
Blood cast?
Yeah, at least you're using a pretty high hemotype. Unless you humans have weird blood colors.
Can we stay on the topic of the Q? I'm not in the mood for cultural exchange.
Let me guess. You've noticed that it's impossible to see inside of, and you want my help peering into it.
Yes. I could see past it for a moment, but I don't know how to do it again.
Well, I don't actually know. See, I'm a kind of a special case. I had X-ray vision.
Had?
Yeah, you know, had. The past tense form of have. We share a language, you ought to know this. You don't have basic reading comprehension skills, but do you have X-ray vision, Rose Human?
No.
Sucks to be you then. I don't know how you saw past the outside of the sphere, but I know how I did. The X-ray vision I was born with. I don't think I'm going to be of any help. Sorry, Lalonde.
Thank you for your help anyway, Vriska. While you did entirely waste my time, it was nice to know someone out there can see how insidious the Doctor is.
Yeah, he's an asshole. I used to think he was great too, but that's before he blew up in my face about something that didn't even matter. Literally.
What a creep. He claims to be omnipotent, but he can't even get your gender right?
What?
When I first spoke to him, he called you a young man who preferred force to finesse.
I beg your fucking pardon?
I know. Total bozo.
Hey, Rose, real quick. Don't tell anyone what the fucking cue ball freak said about me.
Oh, okay.
I am serious. I don't want to hear you saying that shit to anyone else, or I'm going to have you killed. No matter how many universes are between us, or what blood color you have, if you repeat that to anyone, you're history.
You stare at your phone for a moment, mouth slightly open. A death threat from an alien is a first for you. It sounded more fun when June explained her experience. With a sigh, you turn your focus back to the orb. You thought you had outfoxed Doc, but your lead was a bust.
Here, Jaspers.
You hand the phone back to the fuzzy companion.
Only let me know if June, Dave, or Jade message me, okay?
Okay, Miss Rose. Jaspers takes the phone, floating back into the air. You cross your arms and shut your eyes. You're far too proud to ask for more help from Doc, and you don't feel like speaking to Kanaya or any other trolls right now. Still, that suits you fine. You have been feeling like a puppet on strings for a while now, and with your phone in the hands of your kitty friend, you feel like the strings have been cut. You open your eyes, considering the white cue in your hands. Looks like you're going to have to figure this orb shit out yourself after all. You still hate puzzles. You are no longer Rose Lalonde. Your name is Dave Strider. More specifically, your name is Dave Sprite. Is that your name? What is your name? Dave Sprite seems a little unwieldy. Then again, you can't go around calling yourself Dave. There's another guy running around Lohack with that name right now. You've probably just got to knuckle under and give yourself a brand new name. You can worry about your name later. Right now you're focused on what you see in the dark skies of the land of heat and clockwork. Shortly after you left Dave at the Lohack Bank, you decided to make your way to Skya to see how things were, but something caught your eye in the blackened skies above. A contrail. Something out of place. You're pretty sure the crocodile people who populate the land of heat and clockwork don't fly planes. At the far end of the contrail, there are these two tiny dots. One is hard to make out, a distant green crackle. One of the nuclear enemies numbering the medium? It's flying on its own power, two robust wings flapping away. The other speck is oddly familiar. You squint, your newfound bird sight allowing you to get a clearer picture. It's a little man on a flying skateboard giving chase to the black speck. A man wearing a ball cap crouched low to the hoverboard. A lump forms in your throat as your senses meet logic and you piece together who you're seeing. Bro. You're following the trails, your wings flapping behind you. It's not like you need them to fly, you're a sprite who can fly on his own power, but you like to imagine that using them makes you faster, and being faster is what you need to be right now. The fading contrail leads away, and the closer you get to its destination, the harder your chest pounds as you realize where Bro's going. He's heading back home, to the apartment. The duo are too distracted to notice you as they land on the roof, the lanky, black carapaced figure snarling his canine snout at your brother. Is that?
You're starting to bug me, kiddo,
says a husky, dark voice as the duo circle each other menacingly. Die, your brother hisses, flying at the demon, katana in hand. Swords clang and feet skid against the blacktop as the duo test each other. The demon is clearly stronger, but Bro is clearly faster, making the demon's devastating attacks look clumsy. Great gashes come loose of your roof in a hail of blacktop and concrete. You're about to call out to Bro, but you think better of it. Distracting him isn't what he needs right now. He needs help.
One, two, three, strike.
dive through the air, tucking in your wings and aiming headfirst at the oblivious black carapaced canine. At the last moment, you turn and slam your side into the demon's back with a thud that reverberates in your entire sprightly bone structure.
Fuck!
The demon cries out in pain, giving Bro enough time to swipe at him. Just as the sword is about to cut the demon's neck, it dives out of the way, throwing you off, your body sliding against the roof. A droplet of blood comes from Jack's Adam's apple. Bro gives you a silent glance. You don't say a word to him, silently floating at his side, your ghostly tail swaying back and forth.
I didn't know you had a little partner,
The demon hisses.
That's playing dirty.
You're in the fray now, irrevocably, your primal instincts beginning to regret getting involved. The demon's eyes are glowing with green hatred. You've never been looked at like that, with murderous intent. It feels primal.
Neither of you like talking very much, do ya? Wanna kill you to beg a lil? Makes killing more fun.
The demon grins wickedly before rushing you. You dodge his sword, just barely, floating back and retaliating with an orange sprite blast from your hand. It appears this nuclear asshole doesn't give much regard for his own safety, leaving himself open to your brother's slashes. Bro's sword connects under the demon's arm and he growls like a wolf, whining in pain. "Crow boy," Bro hisses in the fracas. Your eyes meet and for a moment, time seems to slow down. "Don't die," he says quietly. You feel your heart pound, watching his back as he dashes back towards Jack. It occurs to you that this is the first time that you have ever fought with Bro instead of against him. The memories of all your rooftop brawls prickle in the back of your mind as you shake your head to clear it. The demon is slower than Bro, but it's clear from the tone of his frustration that no matter how much your brother weaves in and out of his thrusts, that he considers Bro more of an annoyance than an enemy. He sounds like he's trying to swat a fly, then fight with a peer. You and Bro take turns chipping at the demon. Where he deflects a strike from Bro, you retaliate with a blast. When the demon protects itself from a dive bomb, Bro follows up by cutting the demon's skin. All the while, the demon can't figure out which one of you to focus on, swatting and swiping with increasing rage. It would be going well if either of your attacks were affecting him in the least. "Left!" cries Bro suddenly as you barely dodge a sword swing. To your shock, the swipe is followed up by a sharp and growing pain near your left shoulder blade, as the sound of a crackling snarl, as teeth sink into the base of your shoulder where your wing meets your back. You scream involuntarily. Your sprite body is durable and not entirely tangible, but there's very little that can protect you from a rabid dog snarling and biting. Bro plunges his sword into the demon, the blade sinking 4 inches or so into its eye. Then there's a tearing noise, and white-hot agony sears your entire back as the demon pulls away, his clamping jaws taking your wing with him. You fall to the ground on your face, shuddering in pain as you watch the demon spit out your disembodied wing, the thing evaporating into orange mist. The pain in your shoulder subsides with an alarming speed, and when you reach back to feel where the wing was, you feel only jagged, jutting bone. You never got used to this body, and now it's being torn apart. Bro is still attached to the demon, trying to shove his sword further into its skull, but it zaps Bro's chest with a green nuclear jolt. Bro joins you on the blacktop. The demon howls into the sky and crouches, leaping into the air. You watch as he flees, tumbling in the air, too angry to fly straight. "He's getting away," Bro says, grabbing your shoulder. He looks briefly into the empty space where your left wing used to be, glasses catching the light. For a tiny moment, you think you see his pale orange eyes. Is that a shred of sympathy in them? "Come on," you say, turning your face up to chase the demon, but Bro doesn't let go. He swallows, his mouth slightly open. Is he going to start yelling? Did you fuck up? You tense, ready to hear his disdainful words. "Are you okay, Crow Boy?" comes his taciturn voice. You stare at each other like aliens making first contact. "Fine," you say. Bro looks away sheepishly. "Come on," he says gruffly, planting his feet on his hoverboard. As you give chase into the cooling air, breaking free of Lohack's gravity, Those 3 words reverberate in your head. Bro has never asked you that before. Are you okay? Why did he say that? What did it mean? Was this allowed? You watch his back, tense as he crouches low to the board, following him as he follows the demon. You are no longer Dave Sprite. Thank you for listening to Homestuck Alternate Universe. HSAU is sponsored by contributions from viewers like you. To learn more, go to patreon.com/funkmclovin. This episode was directed, recorded, and edited by Funk McLovin. The cast, in no particular order: AE as Terezi, articulately composed as Rose and Mom, Bucky as Carcat, Captain Lazar as Jack Noir, Eclipi as Gamzee and Equius, Janaya as Kanaya and Jade, Pakin as Tavros, Technically Dead as Solix, Harper as Vriska, Shrimp as Nepeta, and West as Pfeffery. Art by Sunny Dionysus, Gastro, and Clown's Kiss. Supplemental art by Funk McLovin based on characters by Andrew Hussie. Special thanks to Daft Class, Yo It's Crow, and Andrew Hussie. Homestuck Alternate Universe is not affiliated with What Pumpkin or Viz Media. To read Homestuck's original webcomic, please go to homestuck.com or bambosh.dev/unofficial-homestuck-collection. Thank you.